You have to imagine a ship so powerful it could bring an entire nation to its knees. For me, the Bismarck was the Death Star. It was a kind of mechanized warfare that hopefully will never exist again. It was this monstrous piece of steel that held together no matter what the British could throw at it. And when it finally sank, it became a legend with the same kind of force in the human imagination that Titanic had.
The Bismarck, considered by most naval experts to be the most perfectly equipped fighting ship in the world, was spotted leaving the Norwegian port of Bergen for the high seas. Britain's largest warship, the Hood, joined in the hot pursuit. Events were to end tragically for the majestic English craft as she was sunk by the Bismarck during the ensuing battle. But England was to have its revenge. The battleships Rodney and King George steamed to the scene along with over 100 other vessels. After a pursuit of almost 2,000 miles, the Armada caught up with the Bismarck some 400 miles west of Brest, France. It was the Dorsetshire who finally landed the coup de grace that sunk the mighty German battle wagon. Only 100 of her crew could be saved. The rest had gone down with their ship. The highly vaunted Bismarck had been sent to the bottom in one of the most historic moments of World War II.
On the 60th anniversary of Bismarck's sinking, a handful of survivors come together to remember the past. This year, in an extraordinary gesture, they have also invited the men from the English ships who sank them.
That was my station up there. I'm the King George V.
Once they met as enemies. Now, 6 decades later, they meet as friends.
It's what a really nice time to done.
You know, the amazing thing is, you know, here are these guys that are like 78, 79, 80, one of them is 84, and you can see why they're survivors. You know, here you had hundreds and hundreds of men going into the cold, you know, North Atlantic waters, and these are the guys that made it. I mean, and you can see why, because they have the will to live. They're healthy. They're fit. You know, 80-year-old guys that could probably run me around the block. I really admire them. You know, you can really see that they have a spirit of life about them. Hey, you? Handsome devil. He was an officer. Yeah.
And I saw every shell coming towards us.
You could actually see them in the air?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
And we saw all ours going towards the Bismarck.
I wasn't aware of that. You can actually see the shell in the air.
Well, I was.
Yeah. I think, you know, we're obviously talking to the ones that want to be interviewed and the ones that can talk about it. So they've made their peace with it, or they feel that the need to have people remember what happened is greater than whatever their pain might be in going back to that place in their lives and in their memory. But I know that they've said that when they went back home after the war, they couldn't tell their friends. That there were, you know, there were things they couldn't talk about because people would not understand. What did you feel when you saw Bismarck for the very first time, when you walked up to the ship?
Ein sehr großes Schiff hier. Und,
it was a very big ship. And I thought, when you get on this ship, nothing can happen to you. Everyone believes she was unsinkable, so you felt safe too.